then
Just let
oh,
that.
it's loading.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay,
Everybody
and then
does have
I
hand
close that out.
Did it fully load up?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So who are we missing? We're missing Mitch, and who else are we missing? Jamela right now, right? Although she did say she was
Jamela
gonna
and
be
Mark
coming.
that said they were coming. Mitch said he couldn't come.
And Mark, you said?
Mark France, he's a new member.
Mark France, RRA,
FRANTZ.
TZ. Okay.
Okay, Liza, you're in the driver's seat now.
All right. Well, welcome everyone tonight's meeting of the Human Rights Commission. So we'll call this meeting to order at 6:03. First up on the agenda is approval of minutes. Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes that were sent from our last meeting?
Yes,
Yes.
I'll approve the minutes. This is Roberta.
Motion to approve. Do we have a second?
I second it.
Second from Sue. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. I'm getting a phone call from Mark France right now. Hold on one moment.
Oh, yeah.
Grandma, answer your phone.
Guess I should put that on silent, huh?
You figuring out how to do it?
All right.
Carol, Mark is calling in because he's in the car. So when you see the number ending 43, that's Mark calling in, if you can let him in.
Okay, will that be in the participants area?
It should. Did
That
you
might be
have a
in the
waiting room
attendee.
on?
It might be in the attendee section, so I'll keep my eye out to promote them as a panelist.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, next up is discussion on activities. Well, we haven't had any activities, right? Did we want to go right into the survey? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did anyone attend that meeting with the guy from Farmington there? Can't remember his name now. Jay Tolan?
Yeah. And actually, they are having another meeting, I think October 28th. So I will double check that and send that to the full group.
Okay.
So yes, I did attend that over the summer. It was good. It was interesting to hear. It was a lot of just sharing with others. So just by way of background, what Jane is talking about, there was a group organized by the Farmington Human Rights Commission and I think the Hamden Human Rights Commission, led on trying to pull together local human rights commissions from all across the state. So I think there were probably somewhere between like 12 to 15 towns on the meeting over the summer. So I think a lot of local human rights commissions were kind of experiencing some of the same things that we've talked about, wanting to be more active, not necessarily being well known in town. There were a couple other HRCs that did a survey similar to the one that we just conducted, just to try to hear from residents in town what they were feeling about their town and their level of inclusivity and their climate, and how the HRC could better support residents of the town. I think I also got some ideas from some of the HRCs about, it's really, because again, a lot of the HRCs are trying to reactivate, right? They haven't been active in recent years, and trying to think of activities and projects that they can take on, understanding the capacity of, you know, a volunteer, you know, a commission full of volunteers, right? So what can we all take on given our limited time, given, you know, limited budget to do activities? So I did get some, you know, interesting ideas. Something as simple as one town painted all the crosswalks right in their town center. So think about right at the corner of Main and Cedar during June, Pride Month, you know, paint their crosswalks rainbows. You know, really something really simple as that. It doesn't like take a lot of time, doesn't cost a lot of money, but something that starts to promote and have, you know, people driving by and saying, why are the crosswalks, you know, painted in a rainbow, and kind of understanding the reasoning behind that. You know, some talked about working with their local high school human rights commission. I don't know if Newington High has a human rights commission. Some hold monthly community conversations via Zoom. I don't know. I don't know that would be, you know, we're at that place, right? Because we don't necessarily get people participating here.
Okay.
One talked about getting a high school student to lead a forum to kind of pull in the high school students. I thought that was a good idea. One talked about a movie series at the library. Folks talked about voter registration drives. So those were some of the ideas. There was one, interactions, getting to know you with the local police department, which we'll actually talk about in a little bit because that actually came up in our survey results. So just kind of some, I think, manageable activities that we could do. That's really what I took away from that. So I don't know, Jane, others, do you have questions?
No, I was just wondering, I didn't know if, I mean, it's so wild, so long ago. I know I forgot about it, so I didn't go to it. So I didn't know if anybody else had attended or not.
Well, we might get some feedback from the surveys that, you know, if they mirror some of those ideas, that might be where we start our focus.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
so
good.
I believe the next meeting is on the 28th, again in the evening from 7 to 8:30 virtual. So I'll make sure I get that around to the full group. Okay. So I think next up was the results of the survey that we conducted over
Wait a minute.
early fall. Yes.
Heather, are you still there? I don't know. I keep hearing the doorbell and I don't know if Mark can come in. I thought the way this was that everybody was just allowed in, the panelists.
So there's two people under as Carol Brack.
Hi, Carol.
Oh, so you are in, Mark.
Mark
So
France.
one of those is Jamela and then one is Mark. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Jamela is here?
Yeah, I see her. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay,
There
so
she is.
okay, everybody's here then. Okay.
Hi,
Oh,
Jamel.
Sorry. Hello there. So sorry to
Hey, good
interrupt.
evening.
Oh, there she is. I see her now.
Thanks for the reminder, Jane.
Hey, not a problem, baby. I got you covered.
Okay.
Us teachers are going to stand with each other. We're good. So Jamela is here. So Mitch is the only one that we're missing then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
So did folks get the PDF I sent around? I apologize. I did just send it last night, but did folks get that? Some of the just a summary of the results from the survey. So one thing I did find out, apparently I am very spoiled by my workplace's paid membership to SurveyMonkey. So I did learn that there are just a large number of limitations with the free SurveyMonkey account. Number one, we max out at 40 responses. So
Oh,
did see 42 responses as of this weekend when I started trying to pull the responses. So we're really only missing 2 off of that. I can go back in. I didn't want to clear out the 40 that this feedback is, that the summary I sent is based on, until we as a group had a chance to talk about it. But I could possibly, I could see, I don't know, I'm sure that SurveyMonkey has, something built in to protect from this. I could see if I clear out the 40 that I can see now if it resets back to 0 and allows another 40 responses. I'm not sure that we'll get more. I do know that this past weekend, I know I talked to Newington News, Mike Branda, about putting it back on Newington News, and I know the DTC just put it out this past weekend. So I'm not sure we're going to get more. You know, when we did talk about this at that large group meeting that I was just talking about, other towns that did this they got like 100 responses to their survey. So it wasn't like a, overwhelming amount of survey responses, but so just to explain why this data is capped at 40 responses.
I am impressed that many people respond,
Yeah,
because we
me
have
too.
not really had that much response in Newington, so that's great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would like to say it was all positive, Jane, but
The fact that people responded though is good.
So
Maybe those
Um,
that didn't respond are positive.
maybe
You never
maybe,
know.
I try to hold out hope and positivity. So just looking at the first question on the survey was, how would you define what it means to be an inclusive town? And it allowed people to select up to 5 choices. So the top 5 choices were, the first one was supporting fairness and access to opportunities and services. That had 32 responses. The next was welcoming and uplifting diversity. That had 26 responses. Next was reducing crime and violence at 21 responses. And then tied in 4th and 5th spot were promoting civility and enabling participation in community services and local government. Both of those had 19 responses. So, that gives us some insight into how folks view inclusivity in town. The next question, had an open-ended, share your thoughts on your previous answer. I think some of them are productive and helpful, and explain. I will leave that for folks to kind of read when they have time. And some of them were less productive in their comments. But I do think that overall, the comments support the HRC working to build inclusivity in town. The next question was, is Newington an inclusive town? This one, the highest answer was actually neither, because this was on a strongly agree to strongly disagree scale, 5 options. So the highest option was actually neither agree nor disagree at 18. And then we had 5 respond strongly agree, 9 respond agree, 6 respond disagree, and 2 respond strongly disagree. So we do have slightly more folks thinking that the town is inclusive, with a lot of folks kind of on the fence about whether or not it's inclusive. The next question was, have you experienced discrimination in Newington? This I don't want to read all of these off. I mean, because this we broke this question down by the type of discrimination someone might have experienced. So they're all on here. They all had to check, at least one respond yes. So the highest one was gender. The next highest were religious, sexual orientation, and age, followed by race and ability or perceived disability, socioeconomic status, and then gender identity and education were last. This also had an open-ended response option for other. That had 23 responses. One person talked about discrimination based on a criminal background. And again, some others were less productive in their comments. And then we had 17 people say no, they have never experienced discrimination in town. The next question was, which of the following human rights and social justice priorities do you think should be a focus of the Newington HRC? And this was a select your top 3 choices. So the top 3 choices here, number 1 was police community partnerships. Number 2 was identifying discrimination, and someone did make a fair comment in the comment section about taking actions to address discrimination, not just identifying it. I think that's probably what we meant in our head when we, when we made that an option. But that was a fair comment. And then the third one was poverty and wealth disparities. So I think that last one definitely fits in well, Carol, with a lot of work we do in the Human Services Department. So maybe we can come up with some ways for the HRC to be more involved with and promote the work of the Human Services Department. I think, the police and community partnerships, that was interesting. Like I had mentioned before, some other HRCs had dealt with that. So perhaps in the future, maybe we'll want to invite the police chief, or, I don't know if there's maybe some sort of liaison or something from the police department to come to a meeting and maybe talk about ways, that we can partner. So I don't know. So, and then there was the, what would you be willing to work with, the HRC? A couple people, we did get responses. We had 13 yes responses. Carol, did anyone email in via that form?
I got 3 emails that I responded to that were more interested in serving on the commission.
Okay.
So we can circle back to that at our next meeting. We have to get some feedback from the Republican town chair and the Democrat town chair to see where we are with positions to be filled. We only have maybe 1 or 2.
Okay. And then the last question was age. And so the highest bracket of responses came from 65 to 74-year-olds. That was 11. Next highest was 35 to 44 and 45 to 54. Both had 8 responses. So, but anyway, you all have that PDF, but what are folks' initial thoughts to these results?
I'm just excited people actually took an interest and answered some of them and actually answered the open-ended questions, because, I don't think there was anything surprising in there about things around town, but I don't know,
Hi, excuse me, Liza, or the chairperson.
Mark, go ahead. You can speak.
Thanks, Liza. Yeah, thanks, Liza. I was just wondering, is there a metric as far as how many people, how many minorities or people how many minorities filled the survey? Is there any way of telling?
No, we did not ask people to identify any type of demographic when completing this, except for their age, which one person said was ageist for us to ask. So.
All right. Thank you.
Anyone else have any thoughts about the survey results or potential activities for the HRC moving forward?
I think maybe
it's
if we
exciting that so many people responded and answered the questions. That was great.
Yeah, and maybe we can group them and kind of make that part of the focus of the next meeting is, okay, how do we respond to whatever the most, I think pick one thing that's doable, whatever the biggest response was, and how do we respond to that?
Okay.
Their next meeting is November 16th. It's actually in a month from now. So that'll give us a chance. I mean, I know I didn't look at my email, so I have not seen
Yep.
the results of it, so I'm not sure. I really have an opinion, because I mean, it sounds positive overall thing. I mean, we obviously always have things to work on in terms of community stuff, but you know, I didn't look at the results, so in a month from now, maybe I have a chance, and if you can clear out the 40 that are there, you already have the results. If we clear down and open it up to more people, it'd be interesting to see what other people's responses are.
Do
Phil,
we
were
have
you talking? Because you look like you were talking and your mic wasn't on. Oh, you weren't talking? Or are you just talking to yourself?
Who, me?
So Phyllis, I thought I saw her lips moving and I didn't hear her, so I thought she was talking to herself over there.
No, you said our next meeting is November 16th. Is it going to be at 6 or 6:30?
meetings have historically been 6?
Yeah, historically, they've been at 6 o'clock, yes.
Okay, 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Liza, is there a cost involved in getting more responses? Because that might be something we do have a little bit of money in the budget.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was all ready on Saturday to pay for, at least 1 month to see if we could get some more. But unfortunately, SurveyMonkey bills by the year. So that put the cost up to just under $400. So I don't, unless the Human Services Department has a need for SurveyMonkey for other stuff that perhaps you do. I mean, I wouldn't, suggest spending $400 for a 1-year membership to SurveyMonkey for this, but I
Okay.
have to agree with you. That's
I
really-
think if that's coming out of the little money set aside for a possible activity for the HRC, I don't know that that's how we should spend that money.
I could at least put it out to department heads, because maybe some department does have a membership.
Okay.
So, and if that's the case, I can let you know offline and we can send it out that way.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely try, now that, that we have these results in, you guys can look at them over the next month. I'll try to clear it out and see if it resets to 0 and opens up for more. So then maybe we'll have more by next month.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
Okay. Awesome. So yeah, so then if folks can, again, this should be in everyone's mailbox from last night. If folks can take some time, look it over, and then we'll dive in a little bit deeper next month.
Okay.
Yep.
Excellent.
I got it here, so I can look at it. Yeah. I think we should budget. They should give us more for our budget.
Well, we don't really do a whole lot, so we really don't use the money that's sitting in there now. So this is a lot of money
Well,
for the survey.
Except
And
that,
it doesn't carry over.
Yeah.
yeah, except that, I mean, I do think, can we use this year's, because when did your budgets run, Carol?
July to June. So we have 750, I believe it is, in there starting as of July that we have for
Okay.
this whole fiscal year.
Okay. So, and I know I got the thing in the mail. When does you're doing your holiday food drive?
The Thursday before Thanksgiving that we do the distribution. And we take food donations until the Friday before that. So I have to look at the calendar. Let's see. The
This
12th,
was-
ideally,
Okay.
so that we have time to receive it, sort it, pack it.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm just throwing this out there just as a thought right now. So we have $750. We could, one thing we've talked about in years past is, do we bring in a speaker, and obviously we have not been able to do that for the last year and a half because of COVID. And likely if we did do anything, probably in the next 6-month period, it would be virtual anyway. So it's not like, I don't think there would be a big cost if we were to do a virtual forum with a speaker. So, I mean, is it a permissible use of that money if we were to take the whole $750 and buy food for the food drive? Because if one of the identified issues on here is poverty and wealth disparities, that could be a good use of that money to assist with, people making sure everybody has food for the holidays.
I don't know that there's any, negatives to that, anything that prevents us from doing that. I guess my only hesitation would be where, 2.5 months into the fiscal year, and are we going to identify a need that we might want to accomplish beyond that? We could, so that's the November is food, and then December we do gifts and we have families. And so
Mhm.
a lot of times civic organizations will sponsor a family. So, there might be a family of 7. So they'll take on a family. We could do that, which might be less of that money and contribute some of our own money as well, kind of as a event.
Okay.
And that would leave some money going forward. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there because I don't know that we've spent that 750. Like, did we spend that 750 last year?
Not at all.
Carol, you
So-
sure about that $750? Because the last couple of years that was only 250.
I would have to look, but my recollection is 750.
Okay, so you just want to kind of double check that because it had gone down to because we
Yeah, I
weren't
can
using
have
it,
that
and
ready for-
everybody kept coming and asking us for money, which you really didn't have a lot to give all these people or whatever. So I thought it had brought down to 250, and so we just need to double check that.
I can have that information for our next meeting.
Okay.
Okay, well, we'll just put that on the back burner. I didn't want to see us lose that money, and I thought this could be a good opportunity. But I think December would also present a good opportunity. So let's talk about it next month. I do hear there's a wonderful gentleman running for town council who may be able to assist should he get elected. We can always talk about that. We can always talk about that budget issue. So.
And that's going to be a win-lose for us, because if he does win, then he will be off at human rights. So, but
Well, hopefully he'll hold us dear in his heart forever.
exactly.
All right. So, any further conversation on the survey results for now?
No, because I have to look at it before I can
Yeah.
really say much. So
Same for
Okay.
me.
Okay.
Liza?
Yes.
Hi, yeah, if I remember correctly, I think I read the PDF somewhere that someone made the comment. Either that they had never heard of the Human Rights Commission being active in town, or that they weren't aware of any activity of the Human Rights Commission. Does that ring a bell somewhere in the PDF document that someone made a comment to that effect? And my point really is, like, what can we do to be more proactive? That's just my question as a newcomer on the committee.
Yeah, I think that was definitely kind of the overall intent of the survey, Mark, was just by getting word out about the survey, we would get word out about the HRC. But then also to kind of come up with some areas of focus so that, we could try to be a little more active in town and make sure that people know that we're here. So that was definitely the intent. So we're just kind of in the beginning stages of moving that plan forward now that we have some survey results. All
Thank
right.
you.
Wow, I was just reading this. Oh my gosh, somebody asking my age at the end of the survey is ageist.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, well.
I mean, we
So-
all reviewed it, and I'm sure that wasn't our intent, but
Of course
You
it
know,
wasn't.
it's one of those things that it's how it's perceived.
Yeah.
Okay, so next item on the agenda is actually the Human Services Report.
Okay, I am very happy to be able to report that we have filled our clinical coordinator position. A woman named Ann McAdams started with us Monday, last Monday, whatever that date was, 27th. And So we will be expecting to do some presentations, some clinical groups, and addressing the needs of the youth. And after COVID, everything that I've been reading and receiving reports on is that 40% of the population at large is reporting some increased level of anxiety, depression. So, it's good timing and probably well needed. And then we're obviously, as you shared already, Liza, we're moving into the holiday food and gift collection and busy with that as well. And we were able to do our youth programs. We're doing all outside programs, but able to do in-person youth programs again, which is being very well received by parents and youth.
Great.
So Carol, I'm sorry, what's your position again? Clinic,
That we filled, the
Yeah.
clinical coordinator.
clinical coordinator, okay. Great, okay. I hate to be corrected on my note taking.
All right.
I'm
Any
sorry,
questions?
I'm supposed to be able to move this along on our agenda, but I'm gonna have to take another lesson in this.
You're
Zoom
doing good,
meeting.
Carol, don't worry about it, you're doing good.
All right. Well, that is conveniently the next item on the agenda, members report. Does anyone have anything to report?
Nope, except Mark, welcome. I can't see your face. I assume you're on a phone call somewhere. I can't see your face. I don't know if it's just because I can't view it. So welcome to the committee anyway.
Thank you. It's very, very humbling and very looking forward to being an active member of the committee. So thank you, everyone.
Okay.
The only other thing I can say is we're a week into being in Orange. The town manager has said if we go 2 weeks in a row, then we'll phase in more in-person activities. So my hope is that at some point we could actually meet in person. To me, that's much more productive.
I
and
think so
less
too. I
stressful.
agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Oh,
Yep.
so are we hoping that on November 16th, then we can meet in person somewhere in town hall?
Only if we get enough orange weeks, or, we'll see where we're at, but that's my goal, but we go by the town policy. So I will keep you guys in the loop on that.
Is there a conference room in Human Services right now? Or there's no
There
conference
is
room, right?
not, there's my office, which is really too small for us, but there's right, like down the hall from me is three big conference rooms. So
Oh, okay, okay.
Great.
I haven't been allowed to go past that door. Only in Human Services, I can't go past that door into town hall. So I have no idea what the new town hall looks like, so. Okay,
All right. Awesome.
I vote to put a motion in to close the meeting out then.
Nope, we're not done yet, Jane.
Oh, we're not? I thought Carol's last one. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
But I like your enthusiasm.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Next up is actually other business. And you touched on it very briefly at the beginning, Carol, but I have been wondering where we are with our appointments. I know I want to check in personally with the DTC on our appointments, and I'm happy to also check in with the RTC. I don't know if other folks who are appointees of the RTC want to check in on your appointments, but I do want to try to make sure that we have.
I can send out an email on that, Liza. I
Okay.
did just update that with the town clerk. And I can go through it really quickly. Jamela is a member through November 22. Liza, you're through November 21. So you would have to submit something to Democrat town chair to renew that. Jane's through November 21. Roberta's through November 22. Suzanne's through November 21. A lot of ours are November 21. Mitch is through November 21. We just requested the town council to end the two positions, Barbara Wiley and Terry DiPolito. That has to get approved by town council. And then Phyllis needs to be renewed as well.
Okay. And, okay, so if you could send, if you could send an email with who the appointments are from. And then Jane, I know are you a Republican, appointee or an at-large?
Oh, me?
Jane is listed as a Republican. You don't have to actually
I know she.
carry the party
I-
that you come in
Yeah, I
under.
actually took Tim Mankey's place when he became part of the town council.
Okay. I'm
So
just
that's why-
wondering if, once Carol sends out that list with who the appointments are and if there are vacancies or the folks who need to get re-upped this November, if Jane, if you want to check in with the RTC and I can check in with the DTC.
What James said is each person should do it individually.
Okay.
So each person, and I'll put that in so it's, most of the folks would be checking in with, it looks like most of them are Democrat that are coming due in November,
Okay.
and then just Jane's position.
Okay.
And then that should leave us, and I'm not sure, I have to, once I list it all out, it leaves us at least one, possibly two positions to fill. And like I said, the 3 emails did, so I can forward those as well in the email. They did express an interest in serving and
Okay.
had, indicated some appropriate experience, but it would be up to
Okay.
town council to, screen
Well,
them.
it's up to the town committees to nominate them for any vacancy that the town committee has, correct?
Right.
And then go to the town council, yeah. I mean, so I would definitely be interested again for the DTC, and any appointments we have available to know who those 3 individuals are. Okay.
Are you
Carol, would
on the
be able to
DTC as
CC
well?
us? 'Cause I
Liza?
have no
Okay.
idea who these people are. I don't know who's on these committees anymore. So I don't know if you could CC us the email with the names of who we would need to contact.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, any other business? Do we have any members of the public on for the public participation portion? All right, seeing none. Jane, you're up.
Okay, I vote to, or I what do you call it? I put in
Move.
there that I moved. There we go. I moved to adjourn the meeting.
Do we have a second?
I second it.
All right,
Carol,
the
you
meeting
want to
is
move your
adjourned.
thing to adjournment?
I'm
Can
sorry?
you just- Carol,
Yeah,
can
I tried, Heather, and I can't.
If you click on just the PowerPoint screen, it doesn't matter anywhere, do a couple clicks. You should move it.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so
Okay.
the meeting is officially adjourned as of 6:40.
Okay.
Alright.
And Heather, do I have to stop the recording or just end the meeting?
Nope, so you're gonna go to